Welcome to this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market. We're going to take a look at Manhattan and Brooklyn. We're also going to take a look at the luxury market, meaning properties that are priced at $4 million and above. I'm Julianne Bond, and I'm a residential real estate broker in New York City, where for over 20 years I have helped buyers and sellers successfully navigate the often turbulent waters of New York City real estate. Each week, I bring you the latest news on the New York City market. I do it to keep you informed, whether you are actively in the market, thinking about entering the market, or maybe you're just curious about what goes on here. Let's take a look at the luxury market in Manhattan for the week of August 2nd to August 8th. There were 36 contracts signed at $4 million and above. This is an impressive 15 more contracts than the week before. Condos continue to outsell co-ops this week, 27-7, and 2 townhouses were in the mix. Over half of the properties were sold by developers. So here's something that's interesting to think about. The luxury market in Manhattan has registered 30 or more contracts signed in 25 out of the last 27 weeks. And in 17 of the last 27 weeks, the top 2 contracts have been penthouse apartments, and that also includes this week's top sale. The number 1 contract this week was Penthouse 60 at 56 Leonard Street, asking $49.995 million. The seller bought this unit off of a floor plan from the developer in 2017 and closed for $47,866,945. The duplex condo has almost 8,000 square feet, and it includes 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. There are 2 terraces and a balcony with a total of almost 1,300 square feet of outdoor space. There are 19-foot ceilings in the living room. It's just stunning. And I've shared the link so that you can take a closer look if you'd like. One thing to note about this particular contract is that it is the most expensive downtown condo contract registered this year. The number 2 contract was the 12th floor of 1030 Fifth Avenue, asking $20 million. It was a co-op. It's been on and off the market since September of 2017, cycling through 3 different brokerage firms and starting as high as $45 million. It spans the entire floor. This also has 5 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, and 10-foot ceilings. The living room, library, and formal dining room all have fireplaces and face Central Park. The unit does need to be renovated. So I've also shared that link. Also pretty stunning. I've shared the chart with you that shows you more of the granular details about where these co-ops and condos and townhouses were, which neighborhoods, a closer look at the average asking price and the average price per square foot. Some interesting statistics for last week. The total volume, sales volume asking price for this last week from the 2nd to the 8th was almost $310 million. And the average asking price was $8.6 million and some change. So here's what happened in the Manhattan market, kind of across the board for the week of August 2nd to August 8th. Supply was down about 2%, and the demand was down also, but slightly less, so less than 1%. So we continue to see the demand outpacing the supply. The supply is 272, down about 17% from the week before, and the pending deals were 327, which is actually up 5%. Kind of amazing, really. I mean, we're kind of, Manhattan is starting to look a little bit like Brooklyn in terms of the demand factor. And what's really interesting, when you start to see contract activity at 300 and over, especially this time of year, I don't think we would have predicted this back in March. This is just not quite usual for the summer. So something good to really think about there. Plus, we're seeing a lot of properties coming off the market. And so that is putting more pressure on the market as well. I have shared some charts with you about what happened in the Manhattan market, kind of the percentage of the changes and the weekly pace. So let me know if you have any questions about that. So let's take a look at the Brooklyn market for last week, the week of August 2nd to August 8th. As in Manhattan, we are seeing that the supply is down. It's down about 3%. And the pending contract activity is also down a little bit, about 2%. But if you actually really look at the kind of micro numbers for the weekly look, which is the look of last week from the 2nd to the 8th of August, what we see is that there was a weekly supply of 222 properties new that came on the market. That's actually up 20%, which might seem like an increase, but let's take a look at the rest of the numbers. The pending activity, meaning the contracts that were signed, were 191, which is kind of flat from the week before. We're also seeing more properties coming off the market. 109 came off the market, which is down about 13.5%. So really what we're looking at is overall, we're not seeing as many properties coming on the market. These are even this slight jump in supply, 20% jump in supply for a week is not really necessarily an indicator of a trend. It means that sellers are still putting their properties on the market, just not in such high numbers. And that the contract activity being almost 200, 200 is really, really good. And we're just short of that at 191. So we're seeing that the contract activity is keeping up. And one of the things that I want to share with you, and I'll share this chart with you as well, is negotiability. And we look at it from the time of the contract, right? So it's the listing, the discount of off the price from the last asking price. And it is zero, basically. It's just going down. And so what we're seeing is that with the liquidity withdrawing, there's less negotiability. The same thing is really happening in Manhattan as well, although I think in Manhattan it's about 1%. I didn't talk about it in the Manhattan report, but I'll share that chart with you as well. Anyway, that's it for Brooklyn. Any questions, let me know. So thanks for joining me for this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market. I do this every week, so feel free to subscribe and you'll get my weekly updates. Check out my social media accounts because I'm always posting about New York City real estate there. Let me know if you have any questions. You can post them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer any real estate questions that you have. I'll be back next week with another State of the Market report. In the meantime, take care.